Okay, I'm back. Um, I don't know what happened the first time. It's just nothing wanted to cooperate. Not sure what the hell happened. But it's working now, so this thing, it makes up, I don't know, it's stubborn sometimes. It'll work when it wants to work. And then every once in a while, it just doesn't want to play ball. And I don't understand why. I do 60, 20, 30 some live streams. They work fine. And then today, nothing. There's me a little. Has me a little perplexed along with this door on my desk. It is not sitting straight. The bottom is out more than the top. There's a gap at the bottom of the door about that wide, and there's no gap at the top, so. But the adjustment screw for the bottom hinge isn't there, so. I'm just gonna leave it. But, yeah, hey guys, my comments are on. I went through about a page and a half, almost 2 pages of live streams, and I got everything caught up. I had to go through each and every one of them. That took a while to turn them all on, turn all the comments on, including today's video. I'll have to go back and turn it back on because I don't think it. Although I just checked and it said comments were on, but I didn't get any comments on yesterday's video, and we'll see if I get a comment on today's video. But the comments are on, and I do apologize for almost 2 or 3 months, or 2 months, or a month or two of no comments. I thought they were on. This whole time, I thought they were on. I did not know there was a place where you can go down in the, wherever I go, and turn them back on. I didn't know there was such a thing. I think YouTube has been updating things and screwing with things, and I think one of the things they did is they accidentally turned comments off. So yeah, you people need to go and just make sure your comments are on, because every single live stream that I've done, the comments were turned off. Everything I went to until I got to a month ago, a little over a month ago. So I went through a whole month, a month and 4 days, and all the comments were off, and I just went to each one of them and turned the comments on. So hopefully the comments are on today's video. I'll check after the live stream, after the live stream, and I'll go back and make sure the comments are on, because YouTube apparently is turning things off. I think when their updates or whatever happened, I think what they did is they just went through all your settings and defaulted everything, and mine turned my comments off. Because I got to a certain point, and then from that point on, all the comments were on. And I go above that, the comments were off. So that's about the time, and that date is where YouTube was doing a whole bunch of shenanigans. They were playing with things, and turning things off, turning things on, changing things. And I think accidentally what they did is they turned the comments off. Because I reached out to a few other people I know, and they look through their settings, and they say, yeah, to a certain point, the comments were turned on, and then after that, their comments were turned off. It's like, go back and turn them back on. We'll see if YouTube turns them back off. Their updates or whatever they're doing screwed something up, and I don't know what the hell happened, but it's working. So if you want to make a comment, please do so. Leave a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe. To the people that haven't, the people that are waiting for me to turn the comments on, the comments are on. They was getting a few complaints from people a while ago that they can't leave comments on my live streams. I said, yeah, you can. Just go to comments and leave a comment. They tried 4 times. You're doing something wrong. Until yesterday, and then I went and looked through all mine, and comments were turned off. So, apologies to everybody that's been trying to leave comments. It should work now. I'm going to have to go and keep an eye on that. See if they get turned off, because I know to a certain point they were turned on. And then just recently, in the last month or so, they decided, oh, let's turn off all their comments. So that's the story on that. The next one isn't so friendly because I watched Brytech again. He had a 15-minute video today. And back to this YouTube thing, and they're starting to censor people's videos. Before I get to that, I'm going to say hi to everybody. William, hello. Ski Man, Charlie Purdy. Ghetto. Yes, I am already back home now. Yes, you am already back home now. The hell are you trying to say? You're back home? You're home now? Or you're gonna be home? Or you are home? That message didn't come out right, Josh. I think you're trying to say you are home or you're back home, or... But if you're using speech to text, that's not going to come out right. And in that sentence, to me, it didn't make sense. You know, you're greased lightning fast as the wind. Yeah, it is supposed to be raining here in a little bit. I looked at our forecast and it says raining. Well, not yet, it isn't. So the warning that I'm going to give out to all the gamers out there in the entire world. This is something that Brytech and a few other channels are starting to... Well, it's to anybody that's on the YouTube and making videos, whether live or recorded. From what I'm hearing, it seems like YouTube is starting to nitpick through what they're allowing on YouTube. And the reason I'm saying a warning to the gamers is because... pains me to say this, but Brytech said it first, and a few others I think are going to follow. If you are playing video games on YouTube and recording it to YouTube so it's on a live stream, you might get a strike for that. They're going to start putting that under their dangerous and harmful to people. So any games that are shooting, violence, whatever, I can imagine they're going to go after GTA, some of them other games out there that are shooting games where you're shooting other people. They might just consider that harmful and dangerous, and they might put a strike on your channel. I'm saying might, because it's not proven that they're going to yet. But from what I'm hearing, they are changing their policy on the content that we can provide to you. Which I'm not involved in that because I don't play games. I don't show you guys anything on computers, so I think I'm safe. But for others that are playing games, shooting games, violent games, because AI is changing their structure, they're restructuring YouTube so that AI can start taking over. And AI will start watching your videos in deciding, hey, that guy's shooting other people on this game, people are getting killed. You might, and I'm going to say this, it's important to listen to, that they might. I'm not saying they're going to, but what it sounds like is YouTube is going to start um, putting a strike against these people on the games because it's dangerous and harmful to other people, and I don't see how that's harmful and dangerous to other people. It's a game, but I don't know. That's just what I'm hearing. People are coming out on the interweb and saying that they could possibly start going after the gamers on YouTube. So, um, to get the better angle of all that, you need to go watch Bartek's video. He talked about that today. And I think, if I remember correctly, he did mention the gamers. That the gamers on YouTube could be in serious trouble. They couldn't get their channel taken down. And again, I'm saying might. They could be, possibly, because it's all up in the air. It's YouTube's decision as to what they're going to do. And of course, they're not saying. They're just, they're what they are saying is any dangerous content harmful or dangerous in any way. They could possibly start including the games on that. Now, for a lot of people that I watch play games, I hope not. But if people are starting to think that, then more likely that's what they're going to start doing. So just keep an eye out for the kind of games you're playing, and it's there's a whole there. He had a whole bunch of people were asking him a whole bunch of questions as to, well, why don't people just comply with what YouTube wants? Well, if we comply with what YouTube wants, we won't be putting out any kind of content except what I'm doing, talking head videos. And I know the talking head videos that I do are boring. No one really wants us to watch them, but is this guys, this is exactly why I'm doing this talking head videos and not showing you anything, because I kind of had a feeling, like I said yesterday, I had this feeling in the back of my head a couple of months ago. And I was thinking, yeah, just watch for people who are going to start getting strikes and warnings against community guidelines or whatever, however they say it. I thought it over a month and a half ago. This might start happening because what I was starting to hear on YouTube, well, it's come to fruition. That sounds like that's exactly what they're going to start doing. When? I don't know. Why? YouTube isn't saying. But they have restructured YouTube, and it's going to be more AI driven, like as if it wasn't already. I think just now they're starting to say that YouTube is going to be driven by AI, and they're giving voluntary packages to people or whatever. You'd have to watch Brightech's video. In my short-term memory, here comes a train. I can't remember everything he said, and of course I can't go and play back the video for you because I'll get a strike against that. They don't want me doing that, so just go watch Brightech's video today. It's 15 minutes and so many seconds. Hang on a minute, guys. I'm gonna mute for here for a minute. Okay, train going. Where did he get this info? I don't think he did. I think this is just his predictions. And I'm thinking he's just cataloging everything together that if this is what they're going to start doing, then it could be possible that they're going to go after gamers. Because some gamers, as you well know, are playing violent and dangerous games. Why they would put a community strike against you on that, I don't know. Because you're really not hurting another human being, but it is dangerous content because in some of these games you are shooting people and shooting things. They could possibly start putting strikes against people that are playing those games. Possibly. We're just guessing at this point, but from what's happening so far to Cyber CBU Tech and Brytech, if they're going this far, why wouldn't they jump the fence and just start going after everybody? And that's what he said. He said everybody that's making content on YouTube, every single one of us are in trouble because they're going to start, putting AI in control of what's acceptable and what's not. Now, he was just saying it could be possible they're going after gamers. He's not saying they're going to. He's not saying they're not going to. He's just putting it on the table that if they're going this far, but they're just going to keep going down the line. They're just going to start nailing anybody that's got dangerous and violent content. And one of the things he mentioned is the gamers. There's a bunch of gamers that probably won't get tagged. A lot of them don't play violent and dangerous games. But those who do, there's a possibility that YouTube could possibly put a strike against you. I'm not saying they're going to. He's not saying they're going to, and we're not saying they're not going to. But the way things are going, it wouldn't surprise me. Well, Ski Man, I don't know if they're going to go to Twitch. They possibly could, but there's other platforms they can go to. My concern is if YouTube starts doing this, I'm worried that Twitch and the other platforms are going to start following suit. I'm not saying they're going to. I'm just wondering if that could be possibly what could be happening next, because I think YouTube's the biggest platform out there. Twitch and that other one that's out there, and I can't think of its name. They could also possibly change their rules of how they're working things. So I don't know. This is all guesswork at this point because nobody's saying anything. YouTube isn't saying and they're not going to. They're not going to start warning people that they're going to start putting strikes against people. They're just going to let you do what you're doing, and then once the AI sees it as potentially dangerous or harmful to other people, then AI is going to tell a human being to put a strike against your channel. I'm not saying they're going to. I'm not saying they're not going to, but at this rate, we really can't take the gamers off the table until YouTube comes out and says exactly what is acceptable and what is not. One of the things he mentioned is they could possibly start going after the gamers. But yeah, if they do, oh boy. YouTube is going to start changing because Brytech does show a page from some other website about what the CEO of YouTube's going to do, and I forget his name, Neil or Neon or something, as to how he's He's changing things. They're restructuring YouTube as to the kind of content that's going to be shown, what's not going to be shown. AI is going to be the main front of everything on AI YouTube. I'm not really believing any of this yet because, again, we haven't heard from YouTube. Even though the CEO is saying, yeah, we're changing things, that just because the CEO says something, I'm not too confident in my head that just because he says it means they're going to do it. I don't know. It's just kind of up in the air as to what's going to happen. But if they are restructuring YouTube as to what kind of content we can have and what kind of content we can't, and putting AI in the front of everything, that concerns me. Not just for me. It concerns me for everybody that's on YouTube. And as you know, there are millions of people on YouTube every day. So if they do start coming after people for doing things that they used to be able to do and not worry about it, and now they're saying, oh, now you can't do that, I don't know. But like I said, I'm going to keep saying it until I get it through your people's heads. I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they're not. Brytech isn't saying they are. They're not saying, he's not saying they're not. You got to go after gamers, but what's going to stop them from doing that? If they're already starting to go to this point, why won't they just go to the rest of the trip and start nailing everybody for people that have videos of shooting guns, violent games, people fighting? That's dangerous and harmful content to YouTube. So they just might start saying, no more of this. You keep doing it, well, then you're just going to simply disappear. But again, YouTube hasn't said anything. So, yeah, Josh, I wouldn't worry about it. Like Ski Man is saying, don't worry about it. Just keep playing your games. I don't really. I don't really think they're going to do that, and Brytech doesn't either. They possibly could, but it's not going to be right away, and there's going to be no more notices on YouTube about this. People are there's going to be more videos on this, I think. I hope that somebody out there at YouTube starts putting out videos. Specifically, the CEO. He needs to start telling us why they're doing this, who's going to be affected, and why. But until that happens, folks, just keep doing what you're doing. And hopefully the CEO gets off his doofus, puts himself in front of a microphone and a camera, and tells us why they're doing this. But for right now, they're not saying a fucking thing. And I wish they would. You know, I just wish they would specifically tell us what the hell's going on. Why are they changing things all of a sudden? I mean, to me, it doesn't make any sense. To me, in my opinion, things were fine with YouTube the way they were. But now they're starting to do this rash of updates to YouTube that I've noticed. YouTube is starting to restructure their whole platform. So if they're restructuring it, that kind of means they're going to start going after some of these people that I still think they're just going to start nailing people that are going against Microsoft policies. But YouTube, if you go under their suggested videos, the videos that they do allow, if you go under that suggested videos that you can make on YouTube that's allowed, you're going to get a strike because those suggested videos, those helpful videos, they're helping you come up with ideas for videos. Those videos that they're talking about is exactly why people are getting strikes. going against Microsoft, going against the accounts, um, doing the things with Windows that you're not supposed to. Those are the suggested videos that they're helping you come up with ideas to make videos. I wouldn't do any of those because if you do, you're going to get a strike against your channel. That's one thing Brightech did point out, is that YouTube says, here's the suggested videos we think you should make. Well, those suggested videos they think you should make are exactly what you're going to get the community strike or just a strike on your channel. So I don't think YouTube knows what's going on. Because if they're doing that, then who knows? So, Ghetto, just keep playing your games. I don't think this is going to happen. And if it does, it won't be for a while. But I think, hopefully, they give us a warning. Or they give you gamers a warning. They'll come out with a video. Specifically, I hope the CEO. And he's going to start saying to all gamers, to anyone that has dangerous or violent content, that they're no longer going to allow that. Until we hear that, guys, just keep doing what you're doing. And it's kind of evident now that, and I've got about 10 more minutes here, I'm going to get going. It just seems like some people are being affected and not others. And that's like Brightech said, they're going after some people, but other people make the same content that Brightech and Rich made, CPU Tech, and those other people aren't getting touched yet. I'd put the word "yet" behind there because I think at some point they will. Some people have said they're using those two as using those two as an example. I think he's right. I think that's what they're doing. And they're hoping everybody sees Brightech's video and CPU Tech's video saying that they got a community strike or a warning. Well, CPU Tech came out with a video last time. He kind of rolled back on himself. He kind of took back everything that he said, because on the first video he came out with yesterday or the day before, you could tell he was a little pissed off. He was not thinking straight. In the video he came back yesterday, he kind of reworded things to kind of get YouTube off his back. He quickly came out with another video and he kind of just reworded things. And that's why he jumped over to that other platform. And yesterday he did a bunch of thinking. He just sat down and thought about everything. He thought, was the video he made a good idea? Should he have made that video? And he came back to YouTube because he said if anybody knows him really well, he's a stubborn SOB. And he thought about that yesterday. He was sitting around yesterday thinking, well, is this really the right thing I should do? Is this really? And he kind of, like I said, he rolled back on himself and he said, no. He's going to stick to YouTube, but what else is YouTube going to do? That's what everybody, including me, is starting to wonder. What is YouTube really doing? If they're restructuring their platform, well, we'll just have to see. But in the meantime, folks, just keep doing what you're doing. But don't make the YouTube videos about trying to get around the accounts on YouTube, on Windows. When you're doing a Windows install, don't do those kind of videos. Obviously, they are stopping everybody from doing that. But as far as the gamers, for right now, I'm just setting out a warning saying this is something they could possibly do. I'm not saying they're going to. Nobody is. It's just, it's in our heads. We're thinking, well, if they've gone this far, they might just go the rest of the way and start going after the gamers. Maybe. And I hope they don't. And as right now, they're not going after the gamers. There's no word that I know of saying that YouTube is starting to go after the gamers. Brightech just said that as a possibility that if they're going this far, they could possibly going after the gamers. They haven't yet, and I really don't think they're going to be honest with you. I really don't think you guys have anything to worry about. Yeah, that's true, Ghetto. They might not tell us. But we've got YouTube's attention. Because I'm talking about it, Brightech's talking about it, CPU Tech's talking about it, and he said there's about 3 other channels that are talking about these specific subjects. So I hope we make some groundway and that we get YouTube's attention and they come out with a statement saying why they're doing this, who's all going to be infected. Who infected? Well, you might as well say infected because YouTube's changing things, but I think at some point, guys, they will, because like I said, not only am I wondering, but we're starting to pick up traction of other people that are starting to wonder the same thing. Eventually, we're going to get YouTube's attention, and they're going to have to come out and say something. They're just going to have to. Because every video that's out there, everybody's going to start talking about this, and I hope everybody does. I hope everybody gets curious about it and starts making a video asking YouTube to come out and specifically state their policies. That's what YouTube needs to do. They need to tell us what we're doing wrong, why, and what we can do to correct it, and why they made those changes as to why we can't make certain content anymore. You know, at some point, if everybody on YouTube starts talking about it, they're going to have to say something. They can't just stay silent. But yeah, for right now, they're not saying anything. But if we start making enough noise, yeah, they're going to have to. They're going to have to just start telling us why this is all happening. But yeah, for right now, they're not saying anything. But I think, like I said before, if we start making enough noise about it, politely, don't get rude with them because they will come after you. But if you start asking them, like I have, as to why YouTube is doing this, what is their game plan? What do they want us to do? That's kind of what I'd like to do, because there are videos I'd like to make about Windows and how to change Windows for the better, but it kind of sounds like you can't do that anymore. Now, maybe it's just YouTube. Maybe it's just YouTube going after the people that are making content about Windows. Maybe. But yet at the same time, like Brightech said, if they're going after people making videos about Windows, what's going to stop them from going after the gamers? I don't know. But like I said, that's what we need to hear from YouTube. We need to hear them tell us why and exactly what the hell's going on. And why are they just doing this now instead of doing this years ago? You know, if they wanted to change, well, I don't know. I really don't know, guys, and I really don't want to keep going on guessing, because that's all I'm doing right now is just guessing. Because YouTube isn't coming out and saying anything. And until they do, all we can do is just make predictions. We can guess what's going to happen out there, but really, is that what's going to really happen? You know, like I said, they've already gone after people about the Windows thing. How to bypass things on Windows, so they don't like us doing that, so what else do they not want us doing? Yeah, it's just speculation, like Ski Man said. It's just speculation. I don't know anything. Brightech doesn't know anything. The other guy that made the video on this, he doesn't know anything. We're just kind of pointing out what's already happening and predicting what could possibly happen. They can possibly go after the gamers. I don't know. I hope they don't. But if they're starting on people making videos on Windows, maybe they'll stop there. Maybe they won't. I seriously don't know. It's in YouTube's decision. It's not ours. Unfortunately, it's not our decision. It's ultimately it's YouTube's. We'll just have to wait to see what they do. But until then, guys, keep doing what you're doing. But don't make videos about getting around the Windows accounts and anything about Windows. Just don't do it, guys. Obviously, that's what they're paying attention to. And hopefully they don't go back through your catalog of videos, because Brightech said if they do that, he will immediately get 3 strikes, and he'll be gone if they go through his entire catalog of videos that he's made. He doesn't think they will, but if they were to do that, kiss Brightech goodbye. He already said that. He said, if they do that, I'm gone. Because he will get 3 strikes and his channel get taken down. If they start going through his catalog of videos. He doesn't know if they're going to or not, but that was something that did go through his head. He said, what if they go through the catalog of all of his videos and saying this isn't proper, this isn't right, and he gets 3 strikes in a row, he'll be gone. Same thing with CPU Tech. If they go through his videos, he knows immediately he'll be gone. He's made quite a few videos that I know YouTube wouldn't allow today. Now, maybe a couple of months ago they would have. But as of today, moving forward, both those guys said that if they go through their collection of videos, their catalog of videos from the very first video up to today's video, both those guys will be gone. Again, he didn't say they're going to. He didn't say they're not going to. He's saying, what if they do that? And if they do, they're gone. Instantly. I mean, we won't see them tomorrow. But they haven't done that yet, so... Folks, don't get your pants in a bundle about this. Do not start panicking. Hopefully YouTube will do something about this, and hopefully at some point they come out and tell us why they're doing this. If they want it to do it, they should have been doing it all. No, Josh, it's not too late. YouTube is just they're starting to restructure YouTube, and then that's why they started doing these nasty updates to YouTube. I kind of wondered why they were doing this. I mean, they're changing a lot on what YouTube does and how it looks and what it does. In the back of my mind, I'm scratching my head thinking, why are you guys doing this? Well, this could be it. They're trying to restructure YouTube so that AI can start monitoring videos that we make. And if it deems it unsafe or dangerous, it will contact a human being, and that human being will ultimately make the last decision. Before, CPU Tech was just kind of blaming AI and only AI. Now he came out yesterday and said, well, now that I've sat down and thought about it, AI is going to ultimately tag us for the violent video, but it's going to throw it to a human being, and they're going to say, you make the last decision. Should this be a strike or shouldn't it be? I don't know. Yeah, it's not too late for them to do this. YouTube can start changing things at will whenever they want. Because they didn't care about it years ago. There was not a care in the world years ago about the dangerous and violent content. As you people well know, if you look on YouTube, you can find plenty of videos that really a young teenager shouldn't be watching. I think YouTube is now starting to realize maybe they should start chopping some of that stuff out of their platform so it's not being shown. I think they're now catching up with their own thoughts and saying, maybe we shouldn't be allowing them to have that kind of content. I think they've been thinking about it for a while. Now they're just starting to act on it. But how far they go, I don't know. I'm not going to really say anything that they're going to or they're not going to. I'm just going to say there's a possibility of it. And that's all I can say is a possibility. Because I honestly don't know if that's what they're going to do. I just think I should say we're starting to think that they're going to, because if they're starting to go after people about the Windows thing, then if they're basing it on dangerous and violent content and dangerous for human beings, then yeah, the next thing they'll go after is the gamers. I don't know if they will. I don't know if they won't. But being that they're restructuring everything on YouTube, yeah. So, Josh, it's not too late for them to do this. They're just sitting back in their own chairs thinking, well, should we allow this kind of video content anymore? Apparently, they're starting to decide that maybe they shouldn't. Why? Like I said, nobody said anything yet. And they might not. They might not ever come out and say anything, so it's a guessing game to everybody. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Who knows? But they are now sitting back and thinking, maybe we should, as of today, start going and looking at what these people's content is, and they're going to throw it to AI. AI is going to say this is dangerous, violent content. They're going to throw it to human beings' eyes, and they're going to say, yeah, that's dangerous, and they're going to put a strike against you. On what? Who knows? Who knows what they're going to put the strikes against people for? It could be anything. We just don't know, because YouTube isn't saying anything. How does Rufus get away with it? Well, that's a good question. I hadn't thought about that one. But I think if they start doing that, I think one of the things that's going to be on the list is Rufus. I think you brought up a good point, Charlie, is that why can Rufus get away with it? I think they're going to soon cap that. Because they're aware of it. They know what Rufus does. I think that might be another thing they might come out with. Saying anybody that's using Rufus trying to get around the local or the Microsoft account, they might say you can't do that anymore. Which is going to suck. And I can't tell you what I'm thinking right now. I was just thinking, well, there's a way around, but I'm not going to tell you that because I could possibly get in trouble for saying that. But I think you guys know what I was going to say. So just, you got to kind of be careful nowadays as to how we're talking on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't want us talking about that. But yes, Charlie, that's a good point. But I think now that we've mentioned it, YouTube might be thinking, yeah, what about Rufus? Could we allow that or shouldn't we? Who knows? It's really up in the air. Nobody really knows what they're doing and why they're doing it, and exactly what the final call to everything's going to be. So with that, guys, I think I've said enough. And before I get a community strike on my channel, I'm going to shut my pie hole. And I'm going to say goodbye to you guys for today. I'm going to go through chat one more time because I'm not seeing some people that were here the other day. I don't see Ken here. I don't see Stan. There's a couple of here people I don't. The hell? I've got a neighbor next to me. He's really starting to worry me. Yeah, that's possible, Ghetto, that they don't know what they're doing. I think they're starting to gather up facts, is all they're doing. Neighbors. I think they're starting to figure it out, Josh. They might not know exactly how they're doing it. They know what they're doing, but they just don't know the hows, what's, ifs. That's all got to be sorted yet. So they may not know everything of what they're doing, but they are starting to go down that road of putting the pieces together, and they're going to say, okay, our final decision about these kind of videos, no. These kind of videos, yeah, you can make these kind of videos, but... So, yeah, they don't have all the pieces together yet, but they're starting to put things together in a month or two. Yeah, like I said, could be good, could be good, could be bad. We just don't know yet. But, yeah. Yeah, it's been fun, guys. I enjoy talking to you guys. And like I said, the comments to my videos are turned on. So if you have any questions about what I said, please be kind, polite about it, because I'll just cross you off the list. And if you want to hear more, if you want to ask me more questions on a live stream, subscribe to my channel. I'd love to see more people on my channel. What might help is I turn the comments. Oh my God. This whole time I thought my comments were on and nobody just didn't want to respond to them, but apparently they were all turned off. I turned them all on now, including this video, so I will see everybody tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. There will be a video tomorrow, hopefully without the problems. I still don't know what the hell is going on with that, but I will see everybody same time, same place. Everybody, you all have a great day. And I'll see you all later. Bye for now.